All right, good morning again. All right. So we are already into the month of August. Wow. I mean, it's just time is just like marching on and on. So being into the month of August means we are starting our new series this month. So our series this month is Revealing Wholeness. Revealing Wholeness is the theme for this month. And today's theme is you have to reveal it to heal it. All right. So let's start by embodying our focus statement, shall we? So the focus statement, our focus statement here at Riverside Community Center for Spiritual Living is, together, we embody... I wasn't ready. No, I wasn't ready. And clearly the we wasn't ready either. All right. So, with enthusiasm. Okay. All right. With mana. Con fuerza. Okay. You ready? All right. So, we embolden people to live their highest potential through the transformative power of love. Yes. All right. There we go. Thank you. Yeah. Un aplauso. Let's go. Okay. All right. So we were just at the Inland Coalition for Immigrant Justice last night, and so it was a rousing good time. And we did the electric slide to the Spanish language version of "Achy Breaky Heart." So. Truly proving that music is universal. So here we are, and so is dance. And so it was a wonderful, good time. And so they just kept going, un aplauso. So it's like, let's go, come on, let's clap. So, so it's kind of carrying over this morning. So here, and how good it is to be here. So. Revealing Wholeness is the theme for the month. We have been talking about our focus statement all summer. We've also been talking about our vision statement, which is we envision a world that works for everyone and all of creation. And so last month we talked about that, and I shared with you that where does that transformation begin? Here, right? Inside each of us. It's not out here, it's in here. The transformation first begins within ourselves. Yep, Charles is like, me, right here. Yep, So it begins first within ourselves, and then we bring it out into the world. Because when we change what's going on in here, we change our experiences in here, our thinking here, our lived experiences, when we begin to shift our consciousness around that, then we begin to shift what it is that we experience in our lives. And so that revealing, we have to reveal it to heal it. And so our founder, Ernest Holmes, said that there is nothing to be healed, only the truth to be revealed. So again, there is nothing to be healed, only the truth to be revealed. So what that really means is that whatever is going on outside, whatever we're seeing in our lives, whatever we're seeing in our society, whatever we're experiencing in our own personal lives, whether it be a mental challenge, a health challenge, a relationship challenge, or what have you, that truly what there is that there is nothing to be healed here, only the truth to be revealed. Because when we reveal the truth, and the truth is that God is all there is, right? The truth is that God is all there is, that there is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. That truly each one of us, we are one with the one. We are one with each other. And so when we recognize that truth and knowing that God is perfection, God is love, God is wholeness, God is peace, God is power, poise, when we understand that and we know that and then we live from that, when we reveal that truth, then all conditions that may be out here in the physical world then begin to shift and change. Agreed? Yes. Okay, wonderful. So Reverend Lloyd Strom says this: all human pain and suffering is the ultimate result of having believed in something untrue about ourselves and or the nature of our lives. Unfortunately, these errors in our thinking are most often hidden from us, and we only become aware of them when they manifest as some disturbing condition in our lives. So what he's saying is that our thoughts and our beliefs are unconscious, perhaps. And we only really become aware of these hidden beliefs when we're seeing something out here, when we're seeing something in our lives that we're not liking, or that we're not too keen on, or we're not too, and it's like, does it have to be that way, right? So what we need to do then is to begin to uncover those hidden beliefs. And once we uncover them, once we reveal them, then we can heal them. Once we reveal the truth, then we can heal whatever condition is out here. So, when you came in this morning, you received a little card as well, and so we're going to be working with this card today, and we're going to do spiritual practice together in this community. Isn't that, cool? We're actually going to do spiritual practice. We're not just going to talk about the stuff, right? We're going to do the stuff. We're going to work on it. All right. So if you need a card, we've got some back here. There we go. They're coming to you. Frank's got some, Cindy's got some. All right, as they're doing that, so obviously, you're going to need something to write with too, so share the love there. Cindy, we have one more right here. All right. So are we ready to reveal this morning? Yes. Oh my God. It's August. Did you take my people somewhere? All right, so let's try this again. Are you ready to reveal something this morning? Yes. Are you ready to heal something this morning? You ready to do some spiritual practice together this morning? Yes. There we go. Thank you. All right. So the intention that we're setting for this morning's time together doing this practice is, from Scripture it says, where two or more are gathered in my name, there I am in the midst of thee, or there I am in the midst of them, depending on which translation you want to look at. And that's from Matthew 18:20. And what that really is saying is that the Christ consciousness, the healing consciousness, the power and presence of the Spirit, of the one life, is right where we are. And when two or more are gathered, then there is a collective power that then happens when we're gathered together. And we are evoking, not invoking, because Spirit is everywhere present always. We're just making ourselves more aware of it rather than calling it into a space because it's not there. We are actually evoking Spirit and realizing and becoming more aware of the Spirit's presence right where we are. So the first intention this morning is to gather with others in order to evoke the presence of Spirit for the purpose of personal and collective healing. The second intention for this morning, for this process, is to deepen our faith through real spiritual practice as a means of revealing greater wholeness in our lives. And then the third intention this morning is to experience the power of group spiritual practice as an effective way to change conditions in the world. Sound like a good place to start? A good place to go? All right. So have these ready. And I invite you to turn within. Whatever that means for you, if you want to soften your gaze or close your eyes, whatever you have, whatever you prefer to do. So bring your awareness to your breathing. Notice as you watch your breath that it becomes deeper and fuller and more balanced. The breath is the eternal cycle of reception and release within our physical bodies. It is the eternal activity of God in us. With every breath, become more aware and more conscious of the indwelling presence of Spirit. This is also known as your higher wisdom self. Let your breath serve as a pathway to your heart, allowing your awareness to move to your heart space. That is where you begin to see with the eye of the heart, which is the eye of wisdom and the eye of love. And in the silence of your heart space, in the silence of your heart, ask your higher wisdom self to guide you through this meditative process. Ask to have revealed to you everything that you need to know for your highest good and healing right here and now. And breathe in. And allow a situation that you are working with to come to mind. Something, it's a troubling condition that you're currently experiencing that you would like to have some healing around today. Allow this troubling condition to come to mind. It doesn't have to be big and grandiose. You're not solving the world's problems today. And yet you are. But it could be something small, a small irritant, a small worry, a small bothersome thing. But allow a troubling condition to come to your mind in the moment. And take a nice deep breath. Allow yourself to relax into the presence of the divinity that is within you. And use the power of your mind to imagine what you hope will happen with this situation. Allow yourself to imagine what you hope will happen with this situation. And visualize it having already happened. Notice where you are, who you are with, what you are doing. Notice how you're feeling about the situation. Let your higher wisdom self magnify the experience for you so that it becomes completely real for you. What you visualize happening, what you visualize you hope will have happened. The highest, most perfect outcome of this condition. Now see if you can identify the one quality of spirit that seems to be the most in expression in this high ideal. It might be love or peace or wisdom, beauty or joy or wholeness. Simply identify that one single word of spirit that seems to best describe the quality of the situation that you have imagined. If you're having difficulty identifying the word, ask your higher wisdom self to reveal it to you, or you may wish to briefly open your eyes and see a list here on the screen. Once you have your word, then on the bottom of your card, I invite you to write that word where it says Word of Spirit. Write that word on the bottom of your card. And then turn back within. And another nice deep breath, centering yourself back in. We must face our fears so that we can explain why they are not so. We're going to use the energy of that Word of Spirit to provide light that will dispel the darkness of our hidden fears. So thinking back to your troubling condition, look within and see if you can connect with the fear that you have about the condition. See if you can identify what it is that you fear might happen as the ultimate outcome of the situation. One common fear is that the condition or situation will never change. Another one is that it might even become worse. What is that fear about this particular situation? And breathing in and bringing your awareness to that divinity within you, to that Word of Spirit that you wrote down, using that to guide you. Use the power of your mind to imagine what that fear might look like if it is happening in your awareness. Remember that your feelings can't hurt you, and the divine is with you now. Notice where you are, who you are with, what you are doing, and how you are feeling. There's no need to catastrophize it, but make it real enough that you are in touch with what it is that you're feeling in this moment. In this felt reality of this particular experience, the fear of what might happen or what could possibly happen, see if you can identify the one single word of error that best describes the fear that you are feeling, the hidden belief. It might be a word like poverty or disease, rejection, or maybe even death. Simply identify the one word that when you hear it, it brings up the feelings that you are feeling right now. And again, if you're having difficulty identifying a word, ask your higher wisdom self to reveal the word to you, or refer to the list that's now on the screen. What is the single word that captures this feeling of fear, this hidden belief? This is referred to as the word of error. It's not true. It's a false belief. But what is this one word? When you have that one word, then go ahead and write that on the line at the top of your card. You're doing great work. Doing healing work. Okay, and turn back within. And another nice, deep, cleansing breath. Bring back to mind that word of Spirit that revealed itself to you, that healing word of Spirit. And feel that for just a moment. Recognizing that this is the truth. And once again, allowing it to guide you, to reveal the next word, which is going to be your word of resistance. Because in this faith and philosophy, what we know is that what we resist persists. When we resist something, we're giving it power to continue. And so now take a moment to go within and remember back to the last time that you experienced the fear about your word of error. Whatever your word of error was, allow yourself to go back in time to the last time that you experienced fear about that particular word. And allow your higher wisdom self to draw into your awareness an image that best represents what you normally do in reaction to experiencing your word of error. What do you normally do when you experience that word of error? What is your reaction? What is your response? How do you behave when you experience that word of error? Simply notice where you are and what you're doing. What is your behavior? What do you do when you experience that word of error? Or how do you avoid experiencing that word of error? Another way of asking a question. Ask your higher wisdom self to provide you with a single word that best captures the essence of what you usually do to keep your word of error from happening. Provide one word of what you usually do to keep your word of error from happening. It may be an outer behavior such as control, or it may be an inner behavior such as worry. Simply allow your wisdom self to reveal the word to you. And once you know your word of resistance, if you are having difficulty with the word of resistance, then we have a list here for you to help guide. And once you have your word of resistance, then I invite you to write it on your card. What is your default coping mechanism to avoid having to experience that word of error, as another way of looking at that particular word? And turning back within one more time. Bringing forth that word of Spirit, that word of God. Allow this word to breathe your body. Allow this word to beat your heart. And allow this word to expand out into the room. And so with a nice deep in-breath, exhale out through your mouth, breathing this word out into the room. And again, inhale, and breathe this word of God out into the room. And one more time, inhale. And breathe it out into the room. And return to this time and space. Hi, beloveds. You're doing deep work, deep, great work of revealing the truth to heal whatever is going on. So we have to name it, we have to reveal it, and then we can heal it. And so now that we've revealed, what we can do now is we release it. You ready to release? Yes. Okay. So I invite you to stand if you're able. Give yourself a little bit of room so you don't whack your neighbor in the face. Unless you have that kind of relationship with each other where that's kind of a fun thing to do, but, you know, that doesn't belong in here. So, all right, so a little bit of space. All right. So you have your card with you. So we're going to fully embody this releasing of what we've done. So just kind of move around a little bit, shake it out, wiggle, wiggle, squiggle, squiggle. All right. So we're going to do this together. And yeah, there you go. I release my belief in. Let's all say this together. All right. Let's try this again. It doesn't sound like you're releasing anything. So, all right. So I release my belief in. I release my need to. Spirit is the I am. Okay, so we have the gestures now. So kind of like Captain Kangaroo or something, all right? So like spirit is the love that I am. So whatever your word of spirit is, then bring your hands to your spirit is the love that I am, or whatever it is that you're doing, okay? So here we go. Ready? I release my belief in. I release my need to. Spirit is the that I am. All right, one more time. I release my belief in. I release my need to. Spirit is the I am. Beautiful. So if you really want to do some good work this week, here's your homework. 70 times a day. 70 times a day for 7 days. This is the 70 times 7. 70 times 7. And watch your life unfold, watch your life change just by doing this, simply releasing prayer. Because what are we releasing? We're releasing our belief, our hidden belief, our false belief, that false idea. You can go ahead and sit down if you want to. We're releasing our false idea. We're also releasing that word that we're like holding on to, that's perpetuating the false idea, because we're perpetuating that activity, right? And then we're embodying the word of spirit, the word of truth. So 70 times 7. So, you know, people are freaking out now. 70 times 7, oh my God, that's such a long time. It's less than 10 minutes. Some of you spend more time on the pot in the morning than that. So do it wherever you feel most comfortable, okay? You have 10 minutes somewhere in your day, 70 times 7, okay? And it is best to do the gestures because then you're really embodying it. It becomes a whole body experience, okay? So that's your homework for this week, and then we're going to continue to build next week. So make sure you're doing your homework this week, will you? Because we're going to work again next week. And then Reverend Laura is going to be here to help you uncover your hidden treasures on the 3rd week. And then we're going to come back together. I'll be back after our Tahoe visit. I'll be back. And then we're going to do this work on a collective basis for our community and for Riverside and for the world at large. Because what is it that we're here to do? We're here to embolden people to live their highest potential through the transformative power of love. And the only way we can do that is if we're doing our work, our own work in the world. All right? Yes? Yes. All right. So this Sunday is the first Sunday, so we have our prayer wall. And so I invite our beloved practitioners to come forward and form a line in front of the platform here. And so our practitioners are what are referred to as the healing consciousness of the community, the healing arm of the community. And so what we know is that, as we just mentioned, that they're actually the revealing arm of this community. And so I have a few. So practitioner license. Of course, I stand right behind Francis, who's the tallest. So yes. So practitioner licenses are 2-year licenses, and then they have to re-up every 2 years. They have continuing licensing units that they have to perform, which is performing in service, and they also have to do community or continuing education units, so that they're always continuing to learn and grow and to expand. And so we've received their licenses. For those who renewed most recently, Allison, Anita, Jeannie, and Constance. There you are. And so those beloveds who did not receive one today, they renew this year. So that's why they didn't get one today, because these were for people who renewed last year. So the prayer wall. So as we've done before in the past, we do invite you to begin to form a line down the center of the room here, and we will do a brief moment of prayer. We invite you to come forward and receive a brief moment of prayer from our practitioners this morning. And they will start from the third step of treatment. So in our faith and philosophy, we have 5 stages of what we call affirmative prayer. The first is recognition, recognizing that God is all there is. Second is unification, which is that if God is all there is, then I must be that as well. Because if God is absolutely all that there is, then there is nothing else that anything could ever be made from or made of. So therefore, everything is divine. So I recognize that within myself. And then we speak a word of realization, that which we wish to experience in our lives. And then we give thanks, and then we release it, turning it back over to God because it's already done. We affirm it in the positive and present tense. And so what I would invite you to do this morning as you come forward to receive prayer is to bring that word of spirit with you and receive prayer for that word of spirit. And then there's also other words if you wish to choose to experience something this day, then you can choose one of these two. Today I choose to experience. So as you come forward, you'll stand in front of one of the practitioners if you so choose. This is not mandatory. It's up to you to receive prayer if you choose this morning. State your name. Even if you know that they already know it, state it again anyway. So because your name is another name for the divine. And so go ahead and state your name and claim your power in that. And so state your name, and then today I choose to experience, and it might be the word of spirit that's on your card, or it might be a different one up here. And so I invite you to go ahead and form the line down the center if you're choosing to receive prayer this morning. She's my police officer. She's the director. So, all right. And so I'll do the first 2 stages of treatment, and then I will invite the line to move forward to a practitioner. All right. And so let's come together in consciousness. Let's just take a nice deep breath in, recognizing that there is only one power, one presence, one infinite eternal love, this one I choose to call God, Spirit, the Beloved. And it is everywhere present. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was love, and that which love did not create was never, ever created. And so I know that absolutely everything in the universe is the divine manifestation and impartation of love itself, an unconditional love without bounds, without boundary, that's timeless, that's endless, that is absolutely eternal and ever giving of itself, through itself, as itself. And so I recognize that each one present here today, that I am that I am. That I am one with the power and the presence of love, that is the who of who I am, that it lives, moves, breathes, and has its being in, through, and as me, and I in and as it. For truly, there is no separation here between me or anyone or anything else. And there is no separation in spirit. So I recognize the wholeness and the perfection and the love that is absolutely present here and now. And I allow this word to continue with our beloved practitioners as Casey begins moving forward with the line and everyone follows after.